Hey, good morning. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with the 26th major cause of failure. I want to quick knock it out. I'm sitting here in my glider because I don't know if I've shared with you or not, but I have been a rocker ever since I was about 5 months old. I love rocking. I love the motion of rocking. Probably TMI, but it's just something, fun fact about me. I like to rock. I've always been a rocker, so I will try not to rock while I do this. But I wanted to share quickly before I get busy about my Saturday and whatever day it happens to be for you that you're watching this, the 26th major cause of failure. Again, according to Napoleon Hill, I think we all know that there's infinite possibilities and infinite ways to fail and mess something up. But over his 25 years of study with over 25,000 people, he came up with what he thinks are the top most common causes of failure. And he made a list of 30 of them in the book Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. And if you haven't read that book, go Google it, download it, read that book. I think that it should be required reading for everyone. Everyone who can read and understand and comprehend the material should read it at least sometime in your life. And I would say the sooner the better. Now, I think I read it probably the first time when I was in my 20s, probably my mid to late 20s. And at that time, I wasn't ready to understand or apply it because of different things that were going on in my life. I just wasn't ready. And I kind of have always known about it, but I never went back really and revisited the book itself. And now I'm revisiting the book itself as part of a team. And so I thought, boy, this is some awesome material. I need to share it with people. So I'm sharing it on my personal business page because I think it's so important. And, you know, I hate to admit it, but I see myself in so many of these top 30 types of failure. I think so far I've done and experienced firsthand every single one of them. Well, what if in my 20s I would have actually read this material, understood it, and skipped all these mistakes? Where might I be in my life? That's what I like to think about it. So now that I'm going to be 58 this year, I'm like, damn, get on it. You better start paying attention and stop making these mistakes over and over again and move forward to achieve what you want in your life. So the 26th major cause of failure is, and I guess I'm probably not guilty of this one, at least I know I'm not guilty of this one. But it is possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. So for example, sons and daughters of wealthy men or wealthy people that have inherited their money and they've gotten their power and their position based on their parents' efforts, not on their own efforts. Warren Buffett has come out publicly and said he will be donating his billions to charity and not giving them to his children. He wants them to go ahead and make their own way in the world. Gary Vee, if you know who he is, also says he will harm his children or backslap them or whatever if they ever use his and his wife's money and what they've worked for to hold it over other people. So those are just a couple of really common day examples of making sure that your children don't fall trap to that. I mean, let's look at the Walmart dynasty. I mean, Sam created a dynasty, but many family members have been living off of that fortune for a long time. Now, some of those family members, and history is riddled with them, who have come by money and inheritance, squander it. I mean, how many movies have we seen where, you know, the young man or the young woman inherit a fortune and then they go on to become, you know, intemperate in whatever way, shape, or form that they choose to become intemperate in, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever it is for them, and they end up losing that fortune. How many lottery winners squander all the money in a really short period of time and end up almost worse off than they were before they won the lottery? The vast majority of them. And that's because it wasn't via self-effort that they created that. They didn't create the wealth gradually. They didn't make the mistakes along the way. They didn't fail along the way to actually earn, and therefore deep down I suspect that they believe they didn't deserve it, and that's why they make sure they get rid of it. Personal theory here, but it's probably backed by science. Anyway, that is our 26th major cause of failure today. If you inherited a fortune from your parents, God bless you. Now make sure you don't go out and squander it. Make sure you use it wisely and you be the type person and leader that you need to be if you had made that money yourself. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow with the 27th major cause of failure. We're rounding them out. We've only got a few to go. So again, step back, take a little personal inventory and say, am I doing these things? Or in my past, have I done these things and have I learned my lesson from them? You know, for example, wrong choice of a partner, wrong choice of in matrimony or close personal relationships. Have I made that mistake? Have I made the mistake of choosing the wrong people to have intimate relationships over my past? Yeah, guilty of that one. And like I said, almost all of these, except probably today's and probably the first one, although I tried that with the coma thing, the mental challenges. But otherwise, yeah, I've done them all. So how many have you done? Are you willing and brave enough to admit to yourself that you have actually experienced some of these failures? Because if you don't admit it to yourself and learn from it, guess what? It's going to come back and get you in another way. And what I've found in my life is if I make a mistake and I don't learn from it, I make a similar mistake, but in a worse way, and it's a bigger, stronger message than if I had learned from it in the first place. My health is a prime example of that. I didn't take care of myself for a long, long time, and every few years I would get a very strong health message or health challenge that I needed to deal with and overcome because I wasn't listening to my life and I wasn't listening to me and what I needed to be doing to make sure that I would change those behaviors that I wasn't doing to lead a healthy lifestyle. And every couple of years, those health challenges got more and more and more severe and intense, up to and including me dropping dead. I had a sudden cardiac arrest, and at that point, that was the big enough wake-up call for me to actually make massive changes in my lifestyle and taking care of myself. So I don't want to see you do that. I recommend that you don't do that. Every time you have a little failure, look for the lesson in it and learn it so that you don't have to have or experience a similar type failure again. That's it for today. Have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.